All right, this is the third video of our data visualization workshop and AURIN tutorial. So far we have, let me show you the map. So far we have created areas in the first video, areas with high CFA scores. We identified them, we created a choropleth map. In the second video, we created this scatter plot. Basically, we joined the tables together and created a scatter plot, and we're able to visually inspect different suburbs. So the points on the scatter plot as well as the suburbs on the map. So we can use that for decision making. The third requirement in our hypothetical scenario was that we want to invest in houses that are close to hospitals. Just that's a requirement. So the next step would be to find the hospitals and put them on the same map, right? In this case, I don't think we have the hospital addresses in AURIN, or suppose that we don't have it on AURIN and we want to import a data set. We want to find that data set externally and import it into AURIN. So as I mentioned, sites like data.gov.au or data.qld.gov.au. So these websites are usually the websites that provides open data sets, public data sets that you can use for your assignment. Or you can simply search Google for what you are interested in. So let's say I search for hospitals in addresses, and so this is good. Probably it's here. I can even add Excel or a spreadsheet to really find the spreadsheet with these addresses, which makes our job easier. So again, this is up to you to do a little bit of search on the web and find relevant data sets for your assignment. So I think this one is the one that I'm looking after, my hospital's contact data. Let's download it. Let's just create a folder called Workshop 2019. And let's download it. Download the Excel file here. If I open the Excel file, it should show me. So this is the sort of data set that you get from open data sources or public data sources. As we discussed a few times, you need to prepare this data, clean this data. Let me remove any unnecessary rows. So let's remove these two rows. Oh, what's this? Let us only keep the hospitals in Queensland. So let's just keep QLD data here. And I would say I'll just copy this data and paste it into another spreadsheet. Right, so this gives me only the hospitals in Queensland. So I'll copy these. Copy. And then I'll create a new Excel spreadsheet. So new. And then I paste it. So this is relatively clean data. Hospital addresses in Queensland. Interestingly, it does have the latitude, the longitude, so we have the coordinates, which makes it easier to map it to put them on the map. I think it's good to go. It's quite a clean data set, right? So let's try. I can remove unnecessary columns if I want, but for now let's just keep it as is. I save it as a CSV file, which is something that AURIN would work with. So you cannot upload an Excel file to AURIN, but you can simply save it as a CSV file or comma delimited file, right? So I save as. So once again, I clicked on save as. I choose the folder, and I choose the save as type CSV, and I call it hospital coordinates or addresses. Let's say Queensland Hospital coordinates. All right, so I created this data set. Let's upload this data set or import this data set into AURIN. So I go back to my AURIN portal. I click on import here. So in the previous times we used data sets and search for data. Now we want to import the data that we find elsewhere and we cleaned. So, so you can upload CSV files. Let me find the file that I just created. So this is the file, QLD hospital coordinates. Let's call it QLD hospitals. I pasted the same description here. The key could be hospital name. Yes, that's fine. It doesn't really matter for this case. It's just the hospitals and addresses. So that was imported, and for each hospital we have a longitude and latitude, which is really helpful for mapping it. So I simply click on I think I need to basically tell AURIN that these are the coordinates. So I go to tools. Before mapping, I need to basically specify these values, basically explain these columns to AURIN. That's what I'll be doing. So I go to tools, I go to spatial data manipulation, latitudes and longitudes to points datasets, right? So my dataset input would be QLD hospitals. I specify the latitude column and the longitude column, and that should do it. So it basically creates another data set which now AURIN understands and can put them on a map. So we don't see much difference, but now we have told AURIN that these are our coordinate columns. So let's clean these ones, close these ones, even close this scatter plot. If I click on the range sign here and choose display on map, it will display all of the hospitals in Queensland on the map. So that was easy, right? And then we can zoom in and choose only the areas that we are interested in. And then from this point, of course, you can obviously change the setting, again, working with opacity or the size of these or the colors of these points. That's, you can do all of these. You can modify all the appearance of these points on the map, right? So let's choose a different color. Let's say a red color and see if it works. Oh, it was just the border. So let's again fill color. Let's choose again something reddish and apply. So that's just to show you that you can work with the appearance of the maps and make them prettier. Actually, blue was better probably because we could differentiate. So let's go back to a different color. Let's use blue. For here. All right. So the rest of it is really your interpretation and your analysis in your report, basically saying that how you can use this these scatter plots and these maps and these locations of hospitals to basically decide which suburb would be the candidate suburbs, or what are your recommendations. So let's say this was the suburb that did give us a good yield, but so it's this suburb, but actually if I let me click on this one. Now I can see the suburb names as well. So Pinjara Hills, it gives us a good rental yield, but it is far from hospital, so probably that's not a good suburb. So again, it's more of a examining this map and coming up with recommendations. I think I stop at this point. I wanted to show you these features of AURIN. The last feature was to basically map points, put points on the map based on longitude and latitude. I'll record another video talking about geocoding. It's not exactly the same scenario, but I wanted to show you that the geocoding feature of AURIN as well. So again, if you want to, for example, bring some of these points to the front, you can simply, if you hide them and show them again, they will come into front. So it's relatively a user-friendly tool, AURIN. So yeah, if you a little bit play with it, you can get what you expect from your map, and then eventually you can obviously export this map. I'm not sure if you can see that side of the screen, so let me make the screen a bit smaller. So if you click on my AURIN, if you click on map a screenshot, for example, it will create a screenshot for you, and then you can include it in the map, right? So let's see what do we get from this one. So this was the sort of screenshot that I got. But again, I mean, it's up to you. You can even use print a screen to get a snapshot or a screenshot and then include it in your map, and so on and so forth. So with these details, I leave it to you. You can always come and speak to me as well. All right, let's stop this video and I'll add one more video about geocoding. Thank you.